11D, let's go over questions.
It was barely even.
All 900.
So, before we get started, just a reminder, we have the Schoology rational functions. It's on Schoology. That'll be for you to review. It's open for quite some time. Okay, I opened it the other day, I guess Tuesday or Monday. What's today, Wednesday? Yeah. So,
Wait, when's the capstone?
So we'll do the capstone probably in about 2 weeks. So what's that?
I still have to do the other test.
Yeah, and those of you who still need to pass the other one, you know, we can still give you the updated grade.
Is the final in this class easier this semester?
Yes, I made it easier for you.
Just for me.
Just for you. It's true or false, and we have the answer highlighted. So
It's true or false, but the answer is always A.
So if you do get a little bit of free time, you know, you can start and stop. You can start and stop the stuff on Schoology. So there are definitely some problems that you're able to do already, and so I think in about 2 weeks we'll do the capstone for the rationals. We'll do it in class, and then try and get everyone to pass it first time through. Yes. So a couple of you have been coming in and making up the last capstone, which is great. And
you didn't take the capstone? Because I don't even remember taking it.
it was one of those that I asked you to come in on your own.
Yeah.
So if you haven't taken it, please do come in and take it.
But if we haven't taken it, I have a grade in it.
What grade I can put in there for you?
12 out of 20.
Oh, that means you started it.
Oh.
So so that means you got a 6 on it. That means you just need to get one more correct. And so if you want to come in, I can go over your old one with you.
Right.
And then give you the next version, which is very similar to this version, and then try and get a better. And all you have to do is get to a 7, and you get the 20 out of 20.
I'll come in Friday morning.
Works for me. Yep, that works. Yeah, if you get a 7 or more, you got the 20 out of 20. If you got an 8, 9, or 10 under the notes section, I'll say that you got bonus. Which means I take care of you towards the end of the school day.
You really think we're gonna have a snow day?
I hope so.
I hope not.
Wait,
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I
I mean, I wouldn't mind having a snow day because, you know, it's day off school, but y'all know that I miss y'all. So,
I know. We
We
barely
got 3 snow days this year.
and I tell you, so yesterday I had to be the lunch relief proctor for 3 different periods.
45%.
45%.
You heard it. I'll tell Grant. Grant, we got a 45% chance. We got a snow day
They
tomorrow.
just told me 42, so the odds are going up.
They're going up in our favor. I'll take it. So I got to tell y'all this.
I might.
The worst job in teaching is proctoring tests. Oh, I hate it.
How many? Did you have to do the essay too?
No, I had 3 1/2-hour sessions that I had to go relieve somebody for lunch, like all in a row, from 11 to 11:30, 11:30 noon, noon to noon 30 or something like that. But it wasn't horrible. All right. What kind of questions did you come across on 11D? It was the evens. 20. 11D, number 20. Here we go.
I got my postcard straight.
Yay!
Very nice.
Did everybody else get their postcard? Anyone not get one? You got it?
I got it.
Cool. Anyone not get it? Okay, if you didn't get it, it wasn't because I didn't write one. It just hasn't come yet. So hopefully y'all got it. I got a text this morning. I won't say who it was. Oh, he's not here.
Come on.
You should take it anyway.
So the I'm curious. What did parents say anything about it? Like
My dad did.
What kind of psychotic person you got teaching y'all?
My
My
dad was
mom
like,
said it was really cute.
my dad was
Yeah.
very proud of me, and then I told him that everyone got one.
Oh no, that's where you leave out a few details when you're telling parents.
No, I told my mom. I was like, it's only for me. It's all about me. I'm his favorite student he's ever had.
It's because you're the straight A student.
I did have. I mean, I do.
Somebody sent me.
62.
I won't name the person who was, but somebody sent me a text saying, "Look, it's on the fridge," and they sent me a picture of it on the fridge. I
Mine
was
is
like,
on
"Yeah,
the fridge. Mine's on the fridge
yeah,
too.
good, good."
I don't
Fun
have
stuff.
fridge now.
So just so you know, starting today. So I got to go back to my Algebra 1s because Algebra 1s actually at the very beginning of the year all got one, just because they're freshmen and they're new. But starting today, I am making a commitment to write 5 a week between here and the last end of the school year. So,
Freshman?
well, I'll hit the freshman and then I'll come back around for you guys.
I'll write you one.
So maybe we'll find some other fun postcards. Like on one side, it's like, here's all the answers to the final, and then the other
Yes.
side.
So you should okay. Here's what you should do. You should give everyone a postcard, but then one of them is like the golden ticket, and that has all the answers, and that's a guaranteed 100%.
Cool. I agree.
Show me how to check.
All right, friends.
Gets the ticket,
Friends, here we go. So problem number 20, I believe, if I'm looking at this correctly, that x minus 2 and x plus 5 is actually x squared plus 3x minus 10 if we FOIL together. Agree?
Why?
Huh?
I
So
got it now.
if I take this and this, if I FOIL these together, I would get this. So I'm going to multiply all 3 terms by this and this. So this one is going to get multiplied by this. This one here is going to get multiplied by this. And then what happens to the very last? What's it equal to? What is it equal to and why?
Plus 8.
Just x plus 8 because everything would have canceled out. Is that okay?
Oh, then it's just algebra.
So things that we have to keep in mind. I can't have x equal 2 and I can't have x equals negative 5. Okay, those are big no-nos. So those, if our answers come out to that at the end, we can have extraneous. It is possible, but let's solve it. There's no guarantee that we'll get that. So let's take care of the math. So I get 2x plus 10 plus 3x minus 6 equals x plus 8. And combine like terms. And move the x's to one side. And move the numbers to the other side. Let's see, that's 4. So I get x equals 1. Is x allowed to be equal to 1?
No.
It works in this one, yep. I like it. There's our answer. So if we had graphed both sides, y1's the left side, y2 is the right side, we would see that our lines would intersect each other once.
So it's basically the same process for all these problems?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
I don't have a grade on the homework. Is that a 0?
Oh. Yeah, give it back to me. I'm sorry.
I got
Your name's on the front side, right?
5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, and
A friend of mine is like,
just watch me, and I will double check that for you. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to goof that up for you.
So uncomfortable. Do 2 and 4.
2 and 4, you got it.
Hey, you guys want
Right.
Landon, thanks for checking that for me.
Dude, honestly.
It's a little like
All right, number 2.
We might be a little stale or something now,
Okay, eyes up here. I think this is one of the most complicated problems that we have because we have a number over a fraction. So what I have learned in my years of being a teacher, I realized this is really what it's asking. Is that okay? And then we're going to go ahead and rationalize. Well, the top's already taken care of. The bottom, I'm going to multiply this by x squared, or x and x. So I'm going to get x minus 1 over x squared over, and then 2 over 1's there. And then we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. So I get 2 over 1 times x squared over x minus 1. Doesn't look like anything's going to cancel, so my answer is this, 2x squared. over 1 and then x minus 1, or just x minus 1. And again, remember I'm putting things in parentheses because I realize if it's in parentheses, it must be factored down. And if you forget the parentheses, you're not incorrect. Just make sure you have that whole thing in the denominator. 4, is that another one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number 4. All right. It says, ooh, we got some physics here. When two resistors with resistance R1 and R2 are connected in parallel. Hey, anyone know what that means if something's in parallel?
We're not touching.
So this is what it means. If you had an electric line coming in, and that means that we have electricity coming in. If they're parallel to each other, you have a resistor here and you have a resistor here. That means they're parallel to each other. Okay? So electricity is like water. It finds the path of least resistance. So if resistor 1 had less resistance than resistor 2, our electricity would go through R1. If they were equal, it actually splits the current in half. Okay? So that's what's taking place so far with this problem. And they tell us that R is equal to 1 over, and then I have 1 over, R1 plus R2. Okay? So this is the electricity problem that we're dealing with. It says the total resistance is in ohms. Okay? It's modeled by that equation. And then simplify the complex fraction. So first thing I would recognize is if I have 1, that's the same thing as 1 over 1. And then I have R2 plus R1 over R1, R2. That's the common denominator. And how did we get to that? We multiply this by R2 over R2, and this by R1 and R1. Does that make sense so far? So then we're just basically have the reciprocal, and we're going to multiply by 1. So then we have just R1, R2 over R2 plus R1. Okay? And then, so that's A. And then it says find the total resistance in ohms for a parallel connection with R1 equals 4 and R2 equals 2. Okay?
4 and 2.
So they told us that R1 is equal to what?
2.
4 is R1 and R2 is 2. So then all you're going to do is just do this. You're going to go R1 is 4 times R2, which is 2. And then R1 plus R2. So then I got R2. So I got 2 plus 4. So that's going to give me 8 over 6. So 4/3. So 4/3 ohms, or 1 1/3 ohms is the resistance in that. Okay? I don't really need you to know what an ohm is at this point.
It's the meditating sound, you know?
Ohm.
It's that little art thing.
Yeah. They represent ohms in physics as the Greek letter O, omega. So ohms, if you ever see this in physics, that's the Greek letter omega, and that's what they use for electricity. Okay.
It kind of looks like someone got a bad haircut.
Yep, that happened. Anything else you want to see from the homework?
Can you do 8?
8, yep. Number 8.
We're not going to have one of those ohms questions on the test, are we?
Oh, no. All right, let's factor the bottom first. So that's going to give me x plus 2, and x. Is that right? Oh, actually, it would have. I apologize. It's actually x minus 2 and x minus 8. So this is a problem that we should cross multiply because I have a fraction equals a fraction, and neither of the fractions have anything added or subtracted to it. So we have a fraction equals a fraction, so I'm going to go this times this. So I'm going to get 2 times x minus 2, x plus 2. And this is 2 times, I can keep it as the factored form is fine. You agree with that? And I guess we should realize that this is the difference of two squares, so that's this. And then this one would have been 2 times that, or just 2 times whatever this is. So I get 2x squared minus 10x, 20x, excuse me, and then plus 32. Does everyone agree with the work I just did?
Yeah.
Cool. So let's head down a little bit. So I get 2x squared minus 8 equals 2x squared minus 20x plus 32. Subtract 2x from both sides, so the 2x squared, or those are gone because they're the opposite sides. Keep x over there. Let's move the 32 over, so I get negative 40 equals negative 20x. So I see that x is equal to 2. Can that indeed be an answer? Can x equal 2? No, because if I plug 2 in right here, so if I plug 2 into that denominator, I would get 0. So x can't equal 2. So this one has no solution. So again, if I had graphed the two of them, neither of them, if I graphed y1 as the left side, y2 as the right side, they would not intersect each other. And that's how the problem would work. They might come really close to crossing each other, but they won't. Any other problems you want to see from last night's homework? Everyone happy? All right, make sure your name's on it. You can, of course, fold the corner down because it's 2 different pages and pass that on forward if that's okay.
Yo, anyone got a staple?
So just so you know, each postcard had a little bit different for each of you. Something that just makes something about you special to me in class. So hope that was a little word of inspiration. Sorry it took so long to send those out. I should have sent those out way long ago. I actually knew that I cared about you.
I feel like most teachers don't send postcards. So.
Yeah, how many other postcards have you gotten from teachers this year?
None.
None? All right.
Postcard.
You got a poem? I'll take a poem. That's good.
You get one? Mr. Chip, I didn't get one.
What? Yeah, you did. You've been gone for so long. It should be in.
Did you mail it?
It's in the mail, yeah.
Oh.
So everyone just started getting them yesterday. Yesterday you get them?
I haven't checked my mail, but okay.
I bet you when you get home today. So just so you know, when you come home, if your parents are like, dude, you got a note from your teacher. It's a good thing.
Okay.
Cool?
Cool.
Any homework over here?
Actually,
Were you leaving early today? Or?
Do what?
Because it's gonna snow, so I'm just wondering, can I stay after and do my test thing?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, because they just canceled swim team.
Yeah, they cancel what?
Swim team.
Oh, yay.
Which is dope, because now I can actually finish it in the next 2 weeks.
I'll take it.
Hopefully today.
All right. So today's just kind of a review. So just so you know, if we do indeed have a snow day tomorrow, I'll move the quiz to Monday. Bless you. If we don't have a snow day tomorrow, then the quiz is Friday. Yes. I didn't get you one.
do you think we'll have one? All my teachers have been saying it's like 95% chance.
My teachers have been saying show up to school.
Kate, did you get a note?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's always
One short? Okay.
more of a chance.
All right. So everyone good on notes now?
Yeah.
Cool. Lead, you're good? Yay! All right, so a little review for today. What must you look for when adding or subtracting rational expressions? Well, you have to have the same denominators, right? So you have to, just like anything else, you have to have common denominators. So problem number 1, my common denominator is going to be this. So that means I'm going to multiply that by all 3 terms. So let's make it a little bit longer. All right, so this first one, if I multiplied that by x squared plus x plus 3, that means that I have to multiply top and bottom by 4, and then an x, not x squared because there already is one, an x plus 3, minus, and then what do I have to multiply the second one by, top and bottom? X plus 3? Is that right? And why not x squared? Well, there's already an x squared there. And then plus. And then the last one, what do I have to multiply by? What do I have to multiply the last one by? X squared, thank you. So numerator gets multiplied by 4x squared. Okay, combine like terms. So I'm going to get 4x squared plus 12x minus 2x minus 3 plus 4x squared all over x squared, x plus 3. Agree? Combine like terms. So over here I have 4x squared, that's 8x squared. 12x minus 2x is plus 10x. And then minus 3. And then I get x squared over x plus 3. What I should probably do is check to see if I can factor that. So my magical number is 24. Factors of 24, one's positive and one's negative. That would add up to 10. I would say 2 and 12 work, where the 12 is positive and that's negative. So that will indeed factor down for us. Oops. What do we say? Positive. So I get 8x squared plus 12x minus 2x minus 3. And still over this denominator, I'm just not writing it, so there is a denominator there. So let's group it. Looks like I could factor out a 4x. That leaves me 2x plus 3. On the second one, I'm going to factor out a negative 1. The nice thing is those match, yay. So my overall answer, I'm going to keep this denominator as is, but my overall answer is going to be 4x minus 1 and 2x plus 3. And that's all over x squared plus x plus 3. Check to see if anything will reduce as binomials or monomials, and the answer is no. So we're done. Yeah.
Is the reason I use x squared because the x in like the denominator is like technically a part of x squared?
Yeah, you have x and x squared, so you have to have the maximum. So if you broke all the denominators down, you'd have x, x, and then x plus 3. So you want to have all of the x's available. Cool. Yeah.
How is it 24? I'm confused.
How's what 24?
Like,
Oh, when I factored it?
yeah.
So one of the ways that we sometimes teach this is negative 3 times 8 gives us negative 24. And you look for your factors, then you factor by grouping. If you don't see it, factor right away.
Yeah.
So sometimes we can see it, sometimes we can't. Sometimes we can guess and check. Sometimes it's easier to go to the factor by grouping.
Yeah.
Yay.
You should try some eyebrows.
Wait, so did you get? So you said negative 3 on it? 4x squared plus 12x minus 2. Where'd you get negative 3? Isn't it 6 because you have to distribute? You see the green? You see the green right there?
Yeah.
So you got negative 2x plus or minus 6.
So what I'm multiplying all three terms by is x squared, x plus 3. So when I get to this one, I have x plus 3. So that's 4x plus 3. This one, the x squareds, I don't need it on both, so I just multiply that by 2 times x plus 3.
It's gonna be negative 4 today. Sorry.
Is it really?
At like
Midnight?
midnight and like
Well, I'll be
later.
out then. That's
Oh yeah. At like really late, it's gonna be like in the negative.
Yeah.
Tomorrow,
Yeah.
it's gonna be negative 4 until 8 a.m.
You know what? You know what I think we should do? We should go TP someone's house tonight when it's snowing.
Let's TP Hannah's because she didn't come to class.
I'm in.
She lives next door to me.
The toilet paper and
We can
freeze
just
over.
eat there. Yes.
All right, moving on. We good? All right. So let's see. I want to combine like terms, so I should probably go through and factor each of my denominators. So that's x plus 2, x plus 2. And this is difference 2 squared, so that's going to be x plus 2 and x minus 2. And then that one's already taken care of, right? All right, so what I should multiply all three terms by, being I have 2 of these, I need 2 of them. and then also by x plus 2, or x minus 2, excuse me. Okay, so that's what I'm going to multiply all three terms by. Does that make sense? So this will be multiplied by everything here. So realize it's going to cancel out. So I get 2x plus 1. So if I have two of these already, what do I also multiply it by then? X minus 2, good. And then minus, and that 6x is staying as is. What do I, if that factor to this, what do I have to multiply that first term by then? What? What do I have to multiply that second term by if x plus 2 and x minus 2 are part of it? I have another x plus 2 there, right? And then 3. What do I have to multiply that last one by? X plus 2 and x plus 2, right? Which is... Everybody okay with that? Hey, why aren't we trying to figure out what x is equal to on these? What am I missing? Yeah. Because I don't know. Why am I not solving for x? What am I missing?
Cancel things out.
I'm missing an equal sign. So that's why I'm not solving for what actually x is equal to. I'm just combining like terms. So let's multiply things together. So that's going to give me 2x squared, negative 4x, so that's negative 3x, minus 2. This one, make sure you distribute the negative to both. And then x plus 2 is this right here, right? So I'm going to get plus 3x squared plus 12x plus 12. Is that all done okay? And it appears we have some like terms. So I have this one, and this one. So 2x squared minus 6x squared is minus 4x squared. Minus 4x squared plus 3x is negative x squared. And then I have this one to worry about. That, and that. So negative 3x minus 12 is negative 15x. Negative 15x plus 12x is minus 3x. And then the last one, I have my constants. So negative 2 plus 12 is positive 10. And will this factor? So maybe negative x and x. And then 5 and 2, both positive.
You catering after prom syrup?
Am I catering?
Yeah, chaperoning or whatever.
I wasn't planning on it. Okay.
And they need a dealer for blackjack there.
No, they have blackjack.
That's what I heard. They have blackjack.
Really?
I could teach you guys how to count cards. You want to know who's a really good card counter? Mr. Richardson, math teacher here.
He told us this story last
Yeah,
year.
like he's banned from all casinos because they caught him.
Yeah, it was a great story.
Actually?
Yeah.
He said he made like
I lived in Nevada for 9 years. Didn't meet one person on the black book for the casinos. Move here. He cannot. If he steps into any casino throughout the United States, it's a felony.
that's how he paid for college. I think.
How do you catch people counting cards?
Because the casino's also counting. And so when they see you improve your bet, so I count cards every time I play blackjack, but I don't improve my bet. So I've had dealers come up, I've had bid bosses come up and say, "What do you got, a plus 13?" It's like, "No, I'm at a plus 14 in this space."
Oh.
But if you don't improve your, it's not illegal to count cards. It's just illegal to improve your bet. Because if you count cards, you're putting yourself at an advantage. Which is like, okay, the casino's already at an advantage.
Yeah.
All right, we good?
That's the casino.
All right. So, hey, how can I write x to the negative 2 as a fraction? 1 over x squared. Good. So I'm going to modify the top to 1 over x squared plus x squared minus 1. So, and then the bottom, let's just keep as is for right now. Does everyone feel comfortable with that so far? I haven't done anything yet to the problem. So then let's start factoring. So 1 over x squared stays as is. And then 4 over x plus 1x minus 1, because that's the difference of two squares. And then the denominator, I get 3 over, let's see, x plus 3, x minus 2, minus 2 over x plus 3. Does everyone feel comfortable with that? So I guess I should make that a bigger denominator sign. All right, so let's take care of this part first. So the common denominator is going to be x squared, x plus 1, x minus 1. So I'm going to get my denominator to the top is going to be this. So that means I'm multiplying this times all the tops. So the x squared cancels out on the first one, so I get 1, x plus 1, x minus 1. Plus, and then the x squared, x plus 1, x minus 1 cancel out, so I then plus 4x squared. So that's the whole top. And then the whole bottom, same idea. So I'm going to multiply the whole bottom by x plus 3, x minus 2. Okay, so I'm going to multiply both terms by this. So the first one, it looks like I don't have to worry about an x and an x plus 3, so I get 3 and, let's see, 3 and x. I don't have to worry about I have to have an x there, I guess. So that's an x and a x minus 2. Minus 2. And then the last one, I don't have to worry about the x and the x plus 3, so that's going to, whoop. I think I goofed. Oh, I did. Darn me. I'll tell you.
Have we had 3 snow days this year?
Yeah. All right, so the first one, I don't have to worry. I only have to multiply by an x. So I get a 3 and an x. And then, oops. And then I have minus 2. And then I multiply this by an x minus 2. All right, so top and bottom, let's do the arithmetic and the little bit of algebra and foiling. I can't see the top anymore. All right, so I'm going to get x squared minus 1 plus 4x over x squared x x squared minus 1. Denominator is going to be 3x minus 2x plus 4. And then the bottom is going to be, let's see, that's x squared plus x minus 6 times x. So then I get x to the third plus x squared minus 6x. Ew, this is just getting uglier and uglier as we continue. I apologize. So then I'm going to get x squared plus 4x minus 1 on top. Yay. And on bottom, I'm going to get x to the fourth minus x squared. And then on bottom, I'm going to get x and x plus 4. Then on the very bottom, I'm going to get I just keep that x to the third plus x squared minus 6x. Okay, so that's what this came to. Oh, this is just flat ugly. All right, so this will not factor, so I just get x squared plus 4x minus 1 over, don't worry, keep that as is for right now, times the reciprocal on the bottom. Dude. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm going to multiply the top times the top. So it's always good when I have a quadratic times a quadratic. So I'm blessing you. I triple distribute. So I get x squared times x to that. I get x to the fifth. X squared times that is x to the fourth. X squared times that is minus 6x to the third. Yuck. 4x times that is plus 4x to the third. this times this is plus 4x to the fourth. Sorry, 4x to the third. And then this times that is minus 24x squared. Oh boy. Let's see if I can move this over. Let me move it. Yay. Okay. And then, holy cow, negative 1 times x to the third minus x squared plus 6x. Oh God, it's right.
Just keeps going.
Then if I multiply this times this, I get x to the fifth. Man, I can't imagine I'm going to give you this on a test. Plus 4x to the fourth minus x to the third minus 4x to the second. That is just, you do that kind of problem. You like walk outside and you see your dog laying there, you just kick your dog. You're like,
Oh, what did I do wrong? So mean.
I know.
What? Are you gonna? That was one that I did not. Yeah, I didn't agree with that one.
You don't agree?
Kick your
All right, kick your little brother then.
Kick your dog.
I don't have a brother.
Sister, neighbor, dad. Okay. Mom, aunt, uncle.
Are you gonna give us a problem like this on the test?
Yeah, 6 of them.
That's the whole test.
So negative 6x to the third plus 4, that's negative 2x to the third minus 3x to the third. I cannot imagine this would show up on the test. I can't imagine this. That, oh my gosh.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not sure he has anything to do with this.
Still going.
This is just,
Why are you still going?
this is just mean and nasty. All right, now here, everything has an x in common, so we can reduce everything by an x.
Oh my
Computer's going to run out of memory on this board.
Computer got enough RAM inside of it?
I don't know.
Can you just use synthetic division?
Oh, you want to go that way? I'll go that way with you.
Or is it hard? Is it like
Oh, if you want to get twisted like that, I'm all with you.
can we use synthetic division?
Okay, so I would say that is the simplified version. Now, will you actually see something quite this complicated? Gosh, I hope not. I'd walk out and see my car, and the tires are slashed, and it's keyed into it, jerk. And then all the postcards are plastered all over my car saying, I'll show you the postcards, pal.
Can't you like use more X's?
Huh?
More X's?
There's no more X's. We're done. We're done. Will this factor out? Boy, I am not going to try and factor this.
Do it, Stirrup.
Is this like
Try synthetic division.
what they do in college?
Actually, do it.
All right, this is just cruel and unusual. Look at this. This is the length of the slide. Normal length of a slide is like this, and all of a sudden it's like, no, look, dude. All right, let's just get away from that. That it makes me want to vomit a little bit. All right. So I'm gonna multiply this by x plus 1, x plus 1. This might be a little nicer for us. So I get 4 plus 2x plus 2 over x squared plus 2x plus 1. Multiply by the reciprocal of that. Yay. So I got it wrong.
Oh, nothing.
Oh, it's very possible. So that's 2x plus 8 or plus 6 times x over this. So that's 6x squared plus 12x plus 6. Yuck. Dude, y'all knew you should have ditched today, huh? Dude, I'm out of here, pal.
Grant knew it.
Yeah.
Grant's at home watching Wheel of Fortune right now, or Price is Right. That's not. Yeah, he's watching a showcase showdown.
The Roman. The order pizza.
So, oh gosh, I don't know why I want to go do this to myself, but I'm doing it. Factor out a 6 on this one. That gives me x squared plus 2x plus 1. Oh yeah, that does factor. Yay. So that factors x plus 1, and nothing reduce. Oh wait, thank goodness that reduces. Yay. So then we get x plus 3 Gosh. Oh my goodness. All right, so that's my answer. I know there's a second problem up there, but I just don't have the heart to do that to y'all. All right, I still got a minute. Do y'all remember this?
Stop it.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
And then this is the other one.
Yeah.
Do you know how many snow days it takes to add on to like the end of the year?
After 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We won't have any more after.
All right. So, woo! All right. This should be on Friday. This should be on Friday, unless we have a snow day, then it'll be on Monday. And worksheet 11E we will go over next time we have class, but being it's a review, what do I not do with the reviews? I don't collect it. Oh, man. Get out of here, guys, girls. Take care of one another. Thank you. Yep.
I'm in from the back.